Hi class, how's it going? Welcome to the second workshop here in the Values and Justice Project. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently in this workshop than we did in the last. The majority of what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at some primary documents, and you're going to be playing the role of a historical investigator, trying to answer this question. Why are the colonists so angry? What do the colonists want? At this time, if you were to time travel back in time to 1700s, late 1700s, you would see a lot of angry American colonists that are upset about something. You don't know really what, but they're upset about something. Something's got them fired up. And that's really what the purpose of this workshop is to figure out what they want, why they're so angry, and really what this whole issue is all about. Before you get into the documents, though, you're going to be completing task one, kind of taking a side step to the project as a whole. I think it would be conducive to, before we start to debate whether the civic values of the United States have been upheld, we should probably figure out what a civic value is. So in task one, you're going to watch a video as a class, and then use that website to basically come up with your own definition of what a civic value is. So they'll be doing that in your groups. After that, you're going to go into tasks 2, 3, and 4, which are basically the same activity. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be given time, about 4 or 5 minutes, to analyze each of these supporting documents. And these documents are in relation to the question at the top, what the colonists want, why the colonists are angry. And you're going to analyze each document, and you're going to record your observations and your main ideas for that document in your evidence journal right here. However, these documents only share with you a little tiny part of the real answer of the story, and it's going to be your job to put these documents together and come up with an answer to the question overall. So after each document, you're going to be given time to ask yes or no questions, to clarify things, to get a little bit more information. A few rules, though. Only one question can be asked by each team for each document. Number 2, the questions aren't going to be repeated. So it's going to be very important that when it's time for questions to be asked, that everyone's listening to each other's groups and to each other's questions, because they're not going to be repeated. So if you miss it, too bad, you're a little at a disadvantage when it comes time to actually come up with the answer to the question. And then number 3 is that the questions have to be asked in a yes or no format. I have to be able to answer, Mr. Morrill has to be able to answer them with a yes or a no. They can't be something a little bit more subjective. It has to be yes or no. And that's going to cause you, a lot of times students will have problems with this, but it makes you go back and rephrase and reform your questions so that they're more productive, so they're more concise and targeting one idea or one concept of information. So in reality, it might be a little bit difficult, but it's going to be good for you in the long run to know how to do this. So you're going to basically be going through these documents. They all have citations, so you know where they're from. And you're going to be, as you go through each one, you're going to be thinking about the answer to the question, why are the colonists angry? What can I tell from these documents that would lead me to believe, to come up with an answer to the question, why the colonists are angry? What do they want? They want something. What is it? Once all the documents have been analyzed, your group's going to have 5 minutes to go down to your evidence table, or your evidence journal rather, and come up with possible answers to this question. After each group has had time to do that, we're going to kind of take it as a class and go over these possible answers and hopefully work some of these possible answers to the real answer to the question, the right answer to why the colonists are angry or what they want. So you're going to do that. And then the final task that you're going to be doing for this task is that you're going to be taking a look at American civic values and British civic values. So those American civic values that this whole project is based upon, you're going to be learning about and really identifying in task 4. And we're going to do that basically through a discussion. What's really important based on these documents and your knowledge of U.S. history? What's really important to the founding fathers of America to include in our government and in our society, and in a lot of the early documents that dictate how our government works? And then you're also going to kind of compare those to what the British were doing. Because and I'll give you a hint, that has something to do with the answer to the question. But how were the British running the colonies in comparison to how the colonies wanted to be run? It's a good question to ask, and you're going to find the answer to that as you work through this workshop, specifically task 4. And what you're doing for task 4 is you're basically filling out this graphic organizer down here. Never mind, that should be task 4, not task 3, by the way, where you compare the American civic values and the British civic values. So yeah, get to it. That's what we're going to be doing on today. If you're absent, let me know any questions via email. It'll be a little hard for you to ask the question part, so just analyze the documents if you're absent, and then send me questions for all of them in one email. That would probably work. So nice job, and we'll see how you guys do with this one.